everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the Blue Jay Way podcast. Chris May, Jack Ryan with you once again. And today we are going through a bit of a rough week once again from the Toronto Blue Jays. It was a series down at the TROP, which is never easy, is never fun for the Blue Jays or fans. And then they headed to Minnesota for a 3-game series, which was a little better. But still some concerning things going on in that one as well. So let's start with the series, the 4-game series against the Tampa Bay Rays, coming off of a tough week against the American League East, to say the least. And the Jays, well, they continue to struggle against teams in this division. A very tough division, but still, the Jays, over the course of this few week span, showed why they are in last place in this division as we sit here today. So let's go through it. Started off with a Chris Bassitt game down at the Trop. Chris Bassitt, I think, carried a 27 inning scoreless streak.
Got up to 28 with the first
28. Inning. And he promptly allowed 7 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 runs in total, but 2 of them were unearned because of some defensive issues behind him. The Jays fell behind, but they did make a push at the end. They ended up losing this one 6-4. Whit Merrifield had an incredible game in this one, actually, 4 for 4 with a 2-run home run. Varsho also hit a home run, basically right into the little tank of Rays that the Tampa Bay Rays have out there. But it was too little too late. The Jays fall. Defense, Jack, started to become a bit of an issue here. In this series, this was something that we thought this team wouldn't really have any issues with, or this was a point of emphasis in the offseason to improve this defense, giving up guys that are hitting missiles that are hitting over 370 right now in May to try and improve this stuff. But it's not looking like it's really, well, I won't say it's not paying off, but it's maybe not necessarily coming together as nicely as everybody thought.
Oh, that's an understatement. Going into spring training and coming out of it, starting the regular season, this team was the little things Blue Jays. We're going to make sure we run the bases correctly. That's not working right now. We're going to make sure all the little things on defense are done correctly. That ain't showing right now either. Granted, Kevin Biggio playing second base with inconsistent playing time. I understand that can be an issue, but at the same time, do your job, dude. The only reason you're on this team is to be a defensive guy in multiple positions and to get 3 or 4 at-bats per game. Biggio making that error on the infield. Well, I don't even think they charged it technically as an error. It was just he scuffed the ball, dropped it, and then quickly flipped it to Bo. Should have been an easy 1 and then go. But that cost Bassitt a run. They could have been out of that inning and the game could have totally looked different, but here we are standing at the end of the game with a loss. So, Bassitt wasn't very sharp, 7 hits given up. But then again, it's the Rays. They're the best team by far in baseball. Guarantee you no one thought that would be the case walking into this season. But somehow they always find guys who can put the ball in play. And they want to talk about little things. They're the epitome of doing everything right. The little things right. Base running, outfield, infield defense, everything. There's so many things wrong with the Blue Jays right now. Base running to me is the number one concern, and we'll talk more about this in the Minnesota series because I was absolutely disgusted, Chris, with some of the base running that we've seen over the past 10 days. Whit Merrifield, hell of a game, 4 for 4. Varsho with a solo bomb, but again, if your defense doesn't make those mistakes and your base running is on point, you might walk away with a series split, but instead the Jays drop 3 out of 4.
Yeah, I mean, you have to basically play a perfect game against the Rays at the Trop this season. And if you make any of these little mistakes, give them opportunities, they're going to burn you.
Yeah.
they've proven that they're not going to really let you get away with that stuff. And
Hell
yeah,
no.
that pushes the Jays' losing streak at that point to 5 games, the longest losing streak of the season. Not it was doom and gloom. Uh, but then Jack, we got one of the strangest games, one of the least expected games. I don't even know what this was.
This is a
Um,
cluster.
with
This is a
with how the
cluster.
Jays were going at this time, nobody could have seen this coming.
Mm-mm.
And yeah, I mean they explode. They exploded for 20 runs,
Mm-hmm.
10 of them coming off of Rays pitchers, and then 10 of them coming off of position players who came in and I don't know,
Yeah.
slobbed up.
Luke Raley and Christian Bethancourt
Yeah.
carrying the bulk of the load from position player pitching, which, by the way, I have a massive problem with. I'm going to get into it really quick.
Yeah, that's interesting.
MLB should institute a rule where every single bullpen arm needs to be used before a position player pitches, because at this point, it's not fun for the fans who've bought tickets to be there and watch their team just give up, because the Rays, we know they are good at making comebacks. They're only down 10-1, which sounds insane, but it's the Tampa Bay Rays. They're a good baseball team. They can come back from that. We saw it against the Dodgers the other night. They won 11-10, and they were down, I think, 10-6 or something.
The Mets last season, I think, had like a 9-run ninth.
There you go.
Win a game,
right?
but it's very rare. But yes, yes.
So, but instead of that, you're allowed to bring in a first baseman or outfielder to come in and pitch, or your catcher to come in and pitch. So for me, that's some BS, because then what that ends up doing is all your bullpen arms are then rested for the rest of the series, right?
Yeah.
The loss wasn't really earned. You just gave up.
Yeah.
And I think that's bullshit.
A calculated loss.
Yeah, it's absolutely Kevin Cash taking advantage of the way that things work, but
yeah,
I still believe that if you're down, 10 runs or whatever, you still have to use every single bullpen arm, or get a long man going or something. But like the fact that you used Luke Raley and Christian Bethancourt, and I still can't believe that Vladdy struck out against Raley. I still can't believe that was a 52-mile-an-hour floater and he missed it completely.
Which it could be.
You're used to timing up a 95 when you're sitting,
yeah.
and then have to sit on a 52, right? But
which is like looping in. But
yeah,
yes.
But then he got one he could handle and hit a grand slam. That's the only home run he's hit.
Yeah.
For like a month, and it was off a position player in a blowout.
It leaves a lot to be desired. It's a grand slam that leaves a lot to be desired, which is strange.
And I never thought I'd be saying this about Vladdy, but he really needs to do better. He really needs to.
No, I'm with you, man. I mean,
it's shocking to see, dude. We've never seen this from him.
It's probably time to have a serious conversation about him. And
do they give him an extension now, or does Bo get it first?
Well, right now it's not a debate. It's not up for debate.
It's Bo Bichette.
I don't think there's any question of who the Blue Jay of the two. Who is the better player right now?
I question Vladdy's maturity in comparison as well, because he looks like there was a shot of him in the dugout the other day. I think it was the second game against the Twins, or the first. No, it was the first game. Excuse me.
No, it was the second game.
Our second game. And he's sitting there. Yeah. And he's sitting there smiling and chuckling to himself. I'm like, buddy, you're like batting 150 over your last 12 games.
Oh yeah. That might've been the first game.
You have nothing to be smiling about. Do not be smiling. Don't be chuckling. I understand that's who you are. You're a happy-go-lucky guy, and I admire that about you, that you don't let things get you down. But there comes a time when you need to look yourself in the mirror and go, I need to be a lot better than I am right now. I need to bear down. I need to just start doing the little things properly. There was also shots of Bo in the third game talking to Vladdy, saying like, hey, I'm noticing this in your swing.
Mm-hmm.
Stop with the 1-2 and then go. Just get your foot down and get the head out.
Mm-hmm.
He was doing all the demonstration. And Vladdy looked like he was dejected and had a defeatist look on his face. I'm like, dude, that's your brother out there. Essentially, you've been with him since you're like 15 years old, dude. It's been 10 years together. Like, listen to him, and he's the best hitter in the American League right now. It's not up for debate. The guy can. Bo Bichette is everything the Jays need right now to hold this team together. Realistically, he's the one who called them.
He's been that all season.
Yeah, he called the meeting, by the way, in Tampa.
Is that what he said? Because did you hear that in the dugout?
Yeah,
was it him who said that?
No. It was Chapman or Springer. He said, yeah, call that meeting. It worked out.
Yeah. Okay.
One of the youngest guys on the team is the biggest voice in the clubhouse. To me, that's shocking but also kind of alarming.
Well,
you're telling me Springer's not speaking up more than Bo. You're telling me I wouldn't say Chapman. I mean, Chapman's been to the postseason a few times, but he hasn't really done anything. To me, it's got to be Springer who's got to be the guy who's leading that team. And also, you've noticed
I'm
this.
sure he has input. I'm sure he's done.
Yeah.
Much.
Anyway,
I'm sure he isn't just sitting off to the side and just letting.
No. I'm not. That's not what I'm. I should be better at articulating.
No. I know what you're saying though. He should be his team.
But he should be. Yeah. Also,
he should be the leader of the ship. That's why they brought him in.
Yeah, exactly. And they Jays ended up losing the series 3-1, and that's what called the meeting in the first place. But Chris, I want to quickly touch on the 20-1 game before we go on to game 3, because there's just so much shit to unpack. But Jose Barrios has been utterly brilliant.
Really good.
He is 100% back. He's back to La Maquina, dude. He is. There's a certain, like, you see it in his eyes. There's a certain level of competitiveness now where last year he was giving up.
It was that one at bat, man. Randy back at the dome, man. That was literally the turning point.
Yeah, he was like, okay, I see you.
Like, you can bring it down to a moment, to a single moment that changed everything.
Yeah, and credit to Danny Jansen too for working with him. We know, unfortunately, Danny in this series ended up. So was it a groin strain? I believe is what he's on the 10-day for. So. Alejandro Kirk's.
That's a big loss, man.
That's a huge loss, dude. I saw a photo on Twitter. It was so accurate. I was like, Jansen gets insanely hot, gets injured, comes back, struggles, finally gets it back, gets injured.
Oh, it's a cycle.
That's a cycle. This Danny Jansen cycle. And it's so sad because his
real value is working with the pitchers.
And he turned Jose Barrios back into what he was with Minnesota and what we got him for originally when we traded for him.
Yeah. Been really good. ERA under 3 in his last 9 starts, man. He's going deep into games. I think he's coming into the 6th inning in his last 6, 7, 8.
He's giving up walks. It's not phasing him. He's like, okay, I'll just come back with. And he also, I saw the stat in his start in Minnesota in the final game of the 3-game series. Chris, 26 sinkers, 26 slurves, 26 changeups.
Yeah.
He mixed them all 33, 33, 33.
Absolutely. And
that is what you have to do to not become predictable. And he was executing perfectly. He's got his changeup down to 77 miles an hour now.
Yeah.
And his four seam / sinker is around 95, 96.
When he's living on the corners. He's not missing. He's not missing. He's got movement.
Yeah, he's not just going east-west anymore, though. He's going north-south. He's going up and in with the fastball and then away with the down and away with the changeup, getting guys out in front. That's what you have to do. And I credit a lot of his success to Danny Jansen, working with him, saying, okay, this is how we're going to get you back on track. This is how we're going to make sure you're worth every penny of that extension that you signed with us. Right now, Danny Jansen to me has been the MVP of this year. One, because he's the clutchest bat we have right now with runners in scoring position. That's saying a whole hell of a lot. Yeah. He leads the team in walk-offs this year, walk-off hits. He has worked with struggling Kikuchi all off-season, all spring training, and now into the season. He's worked with Barrios, turned Barrios around. Manoah's only decent start, other than his start at Yankee Stadium, was with Danny Jansen. He's been the MVP of the year. He's him and Bo have held this team together. Obviously, Kevin Gosman's up there too. You can point a lot of fingers, but for me, it's
been huge.
Yeah, he's been
in his own right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know. No, I completely agree with that. And that Danny, on the list of guys who have performed and held the line here, Danny's up there, man, because the work he does behind the plate his improvement behind the plate has really, really been impressive. And
you know what? If he's not going to be throwing out 1 million guys a year, I'm fine with that. If he can call a good game and get his,
he's a great game caller.
He's a great game caller.
You can tell the pitchers love pitching to him, and they're comfortable with him there.
Yeah. And he picks them up too. When he said, if you have Kikuchi struggling and Kikuchi gets a good pitch over, he'll snap it and go, "That's what I'm looking for. Give me it again," right before he gives the ball back. Whereas Kirky's just kind of
He's also this season, Danny, I've noticed he's setting up a lot differently. He's really trying to deceive hitters, and he'll set up somewhere completely differently and then quickly switch it to another location. So I think moving forward, when Jansen comes back, he might have to take over and start catching Manoah a bit more.
I give Kirky to Bassett and to Gosman, because those two guys are the most veteran. They're the most veteran pitchers on the team. They don't need.
Bassett calls his own game. And
Exactly.
Gossman, he's got 2 pitches, but exactly. So, those are some assignments that Kirk should be able to handle. God, he better be. Why are you here?
And he's struggled. We know he didn't go to the WBC. He showed up late to spring training. His wife had a kid. Yada yada yada.
We're getting 2 full months of the season down.
You should be by the middle of June. If he's not hitting like he normally does, there's cause for concern.
We need to pick it up. He had a big hit in the Twin Series. We'll get to that. Maybe
Game
going back
3
to
though.
Vlad a bit. Maybe going back to Vlad a bit though. Quickly. I'm starting to get to a point where I don't know if 2021 Vlad will ever come back. It's tough, man, because we built him up here as the next great power hitter, Blue Jay.
He's not.
And he fulfilled the prophecy. He did in 2021. And since then, it's just been, quite frankly, an average major league player. I mean, maybe a bit above average, but still not.
He's an above average player for sure. He's an elite player. He's not a franchise player. There's a difference. Franchise guy is a Mike Trout, a Shohei Ohtani, a Mookie Betts.
Guys who are consistent in a different way than Vlad has been.
Well,
guys that are going to give you something special.
He's not the slugger that Jose Bautista was. He's not the slugger that Edwin Encarnacion was for this team.
Not as consistently, no.
No, he don't get me wrong.
Was for a season.
Yeah, when he makes contact and he squares the ball up, that thing's coming off the bat at 115.
And here's the thing too. When he looks like he's not trying as hard, he does better.
He is so much better.
Because he's so talented. And he's got instincts. He's got great baseball instincts.
Yeah. Is this because the Jays don't have a legitimate cleanup hitter, you think? That there's someone behind him for protection so they can pitch to him?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that factors into the way.
Right? Like, I've heard people talk about it because you're hitting Chapman cleanup, and right now he can't hit a beach ball either.
The thing with Vlad, too, is, like, I see him get pitches to hit.
Yes.
Like I see him miss a lot of pitches.
He's swinging at pitches he shouldn't be swinging at, and he's laying off pitches he should be.
He's also fouling off, grounding out on balls that he could hammer. But
can we talk about the Colin Poche?
Oh, yeah.
Vladdy's got runners on second and third, I believe it was, in the bottom of the ninth or top of the ninth, and he could tie it up with a home run, but drive into, or no, I think it was tied up with a single, and then home run would give him the lead or something like that. I can't remember. It's been a lot of games.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Point is though, Colin Poche, I believe it was, throws him a cutter or slider in on his hands. Clearly a ball, like Chris, it's not even close.
Yeah.
And Vladdy, instead of taking it and working the at bat, he swings at it, grounds out to third, and then ball game's over.
Yeah.
I was like,
he's trying to do too much. He's trying to do too much. He's trying to be a bit of a hero there.
He's got too much pressure, or he's putting either too much pressure on himself, or he feels that the fan base and the coaching staff are putting too much pressure on him.
He's also realizing he's losing money here.
Yes.
In the future. But, he's incredibly talented. Hopefully he can kind of just take a step back, just breathe. Just, go back to that free and easy, approach when you were a kid and you had, really no worries. You guys were just a team of, young guys and a couple of vets just trying to, prove that you're a solid team and just have fun. When Vlad's having fun and when he's not thinking about it too much, not pressing, that's when he's at his best. And the knee injury too could be a factor.
It could be. We know his wrist gives him trouble sometimes.
Like that's really when things have started going bad with Vlad, is when he came back after that couple days off with the knee issue. So that could be a factor, but we're gonna have to see this homestand. I want to see Vlad.
Yeah,
I want to see Vlad do better at home.
He hasn't hit. How fucking crazy is he? Hasn't hit a home run at home?
I know. And I want to see that. I want to see him get a moment at home that can hopefully boost his confidence.
Well, it's a struggling
cheering for him, and I'm sure that could do good things for him. So yeah, going back to kind of the game by game in the Rays series, Game 3 was just a Shane McClanahan game. Not too much going on there. I mean,
that's about it.
the Shane McClanahan at the TROP.
Yeah.
That's never a good formula.
No, we also got to talk about Anthony Bass for two reasons. One, he's been a lot better in the last 10 days.
Yeah.
Two, he made headlines yesterday for so many stupid opinions.
I know.
But we'll get into that hopefully towards the end.
We'll do that quickly at the end.
Yeah. Kikuchi not looking the sharpest in the start.
Okay. Schneider. Yeah, Kikuchi's been actually coming back to earth.
Yeah, 5 innings pitched, 8 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 walks. Only 2 walks and 5 Ks. But again, it is the Rays, so I'm going to take that start with a pinch of salt. But it looks like he looks like he's coming back down to earth, like you said. So
yeah, he's got a big start on tonight, which is Tuesday against the Brewers.
That's where I'm hoping Vladdy against a struggling Brewers team. They don't have Brandon Woodruff; he's injured. Their starting rotation is very
Adrian Hauser's pitching. He's not that good.
No, Vladdy should be able to finally get a home run at home tonight.
I would love to see that. That would be. I'm hoping that would be a nice. Yeah. Let's get things going. The crowd's cheering for you.
Mm-hmm.
You finally were able to do it at home.
Yeah,
that could be a little jumping point there.
Mm-hmm.
Kikuchi not great. Game 4, Manoah on the mound.
Chris, what do we do with this guy? What do they do? I feel so bad asking that, but at this point, it's like if you're sending him out there every single day, and it's all. What do you think that says to your players? Hey, boys, we're gonna send Alec out there.
Well, I'm sure the guys.
They're supporting him, but they're also like, and like, here comes another loss.
Well,
they give up fucking 8 runs or something. He's gonna walk as many or more than he strikes out.
Yeah. No, the walks are ridiculous.
5 in this one, 4 earned over just 3 innings of pitching, man. Like that's just 6 strikeouts. Bravo. But dude,
yeah.
You can't go 3 innings.
If you were in a situation where you had absolutely anybody in the organization that could come up and take his spot,
well, Chris,
you'd probably send him down.
Trevor Richards went the same amount of innings and he blanked every. 0 hits, he had a no-hitter.
You're not gonna convert Trevor Richards into
Chris, let me dream. No, I'm kidding.
Well, you know what I'm saying. Like this is a failure of the front office. They're not providing any depth.
No. If Casey Lawrence is your best option in AAA, there's a serious fucking problem.
No, and this is scary, man. Like if one of these guys goes down, imagine if Barrios gets hurt right now. You're bringing up
Casey Lawrence, Bowden Francis,
like
maybe Thomas Hatch can start at like 4 innings.
This is not good from the front office here.
No, and I guarantee you they're banking on making good draft picks. They better take at least 2 starting pitchers in this draft.
Also,
on July 9th.
But Tiedemann's gotten hurt.
He's injured. Mitch White's 10 years of Blue Jays done. He's on the 60-day IL. He'll never put on this uniform again. No, he's terrible.
Not going to be a factor.
Bring back Stripling.
Yeah, no. If we had anybody that could come up and fill that spot, I would say he's got to go and he's got to work on things. But it's not realistic. So we're going to keep running him out there, and we're going to keep just hoping that he can figure it out in between one of these starts. And this has just been a disaster.
It has been.
This was a very important part of the team that needed to be firing, and everyone expected to have another great season. And, it's just an unforeseen thing that, can really, it's part of the reason why the Jays have underwhelmed for sure. And,
and here's another thing too with this game. We
talked about him so much, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry.
I know what you're going to say.
Oh yeah. Top of the 9th inning, Jays can again come back and try and
somehow
win.
They were like in.
They were in the game. Yeah. And they just found a way to lose. Here's what pissed me off, Chris. Dalton Varsho went 2 for 4 against Shane McClanahan in game 3, right? Lefty on lefty. John Schneider left him in the game. What does he do in the top of the 9th when there are runners on base and it's not Shane McClanahan, it's one of their bullpen arms?
He brings in a guy I've never heard of before.
Pinch hits fucking Ernie Clemente. I don't know how to say his name.
You can't bring in a guy
Ernie Clement. That's it.
You can't bring in a guy named Ernie. No one's scared of that. No one's scared of a guy named Ernie. Sorry,
Ernie
sure
Banks.
You're a good guy, but I don't really.
It's probably Ernest, but he goes by Ernie.
Who knows?
Brings in Ernie Clement. only to hit a sac fly in position of
Which,
Dalton
in
Varsho.
fairness,
How
not a
much?
bad AB,
No, but
but
how much of a message? How big of a message does that send to Dalton
yeah,
Varsho? Hey,
that
man,
was.
I do not trust you. We brought you over here for our number one prospect and a fan favorite in Lourdes Gurriel Jr., who is hitting everything in
I know
sight right now.
both of those guys are killing it. I
Producing.
mean, I'm not willing to say it's all been a failure in that.
No, because Dalton Varsho's defense
Lourdes, we've seen this. He'll come back to earth.
Yeah, every once a year for a month, Lourdes is the best hitter on the planet, and then after that, he comes right back down, crashing down there. That said, Varsho's defense has been immaculate.
Absolutely,
It's been as advertised. His base running, his bunting, everything he does, the small ball stuff has been as advertised. Yeah, he's never going to be an average guy. That's what people are fucking not understanding.
Well, he might be. He might be. I feel like
he could be, but he's also third on the team in home runs, or second now, I believe, and also third in RBI. And you're going to tell me that he's not good offensively?
Well, he should be hitting here in this spot. He should be hitting. There's no reason why you take him out for a man named Ernie in this spot.
No, exactly.
You know, you gotta live in. I mean, you lost the game. You're gonna have to lose the game. You should lose the game with your guys.
Yes,
with a guy up there that can at least do some serious damage if he gets a hold of one. We know the numbers aren't great against lefties, but there's no reason why when you're down in a game like this, you should bring in Ernie Clement, who's been with the team 2 days, to replace Varsho. He's been there every day, and he's
busting his ass.
He can create a lightning in a bottle kind of moment in that situation if
we've seen it,
things go perfectly. He can get a hold of one. You know, again against the lefty the day before he had some hits. So that one puzzled me. Schneider.
He's made a lot of decisions that I would categorize as questionable to downright stupid this year. I don't know
what he's doing right now.
But hey, man, he's got to work with what he's given, and he's been given a lot of bad. We also got to talk about Adam Simber returning off the IL.
Yeah.
He's not looked anything better than when he went on the IL in the first place. He's been terrible.
Yeah.
That said, though, you know, valiant sort of effort from the Jays against the Rays at the Trop, but they dropped 3 out of 4.
Yeah, man, the Rays just clowned them around, to be honest.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get on to greener pastures here, because the Jays went to Minneapolis and they took 2 out of 3 against the Twinkies. And I saw
Twins
somewhere
are bad, man.
Twins are
AL Central,
the whole of the AL Central are frauds. Let's be honest. They're all frauds.
Imagine if I would love to see the Jays play them in the wild card series.
Oh, that would be fucking amazing. And they give them home field advantage. The Jays are going to come in and take a shit in their yard and then leave. I'm telling you this.
That's my ideal matchup.
Yeah.
If the Jays even make the playoffs.
No, you could say, I guarantee you take the best players from the Guardians and the Twins, and they still don't, and they make one team, and they still don't beat the Jays in a 7-game set. Well, anyway, I don't think so. Anyway.
Yeah, AL Central's not great.
Yeah. Kevin Gausman finally gets some, well, not really, but he got more runs support than the other guy.
He got a few runs, which is enough for him.
He brings us his win-loss to 3-3.
I know, man. I feel bad for him.
But he should be 5-1, but hey, you know, whatever. 5 1/3, 4 hits, 1 earned run, Chris.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, 5 walks, which is a lot for him. That was uncharacteristic, but still 8 Ks, man. Like, the guy it doesn't matter if he walks. Yeah. And you know what? Like you said, live by the sword, die by the sword. He throws a splitter and a fastball. If they lay off the splitter, they're going to look fastball, or vice versa. And the fair play to the Twins. I wanted to shout out here. We're already 10 minutes to go. I want to shout out to Edouard Julien, Quebec City native. Great fucking eye at the plate. I'm insanely impressed with him.
Opposite field guy. Yeah. Goes opposite field a lot too. He looks good, man. He looks like a solid hitter. Yeah. Let's get first inning of this game, Jack.
Oh fuck. Okay, we got to do this quickly, but yeah. George Springer ends up at third base with Bichette moving him over there. Vladdy comes up to the dish and just he hits a infield single, and I get if the contact play is on.
Springer, not really Springer's fault.
But Springer's got to run home. He can't stop up like that.
Yeah.
Right? That's what John Schneider was talking to him about in the dugout. That said, what the fuck is Vladdy doing?
I
Taking the biggest round of first base I've ever seen in my life. And then he's like, oh shit, I gotta get back. And Correa's got one of the most powerful shortstop arms in the majors. Throws a strike to first base, and Vladdy's trying to do the swim move to get around on the outside of the bag. It's a double play.
Yeah. I know that. Yeah, I know these mental lapses, dude. These
base running
issues.
For
There's another one in game 2.
Oh my God, I know. Anyway, Jays went on to win this game. Bo Bichette 2 for 4 with a 2-run bomb. Kiermaier with a solo shot. Pimped the ever living hit out of it, by the way. Big Daddy Dick hack over here.
Yeah, I know that was a beautiful home run.
But then Vlad and Chapman combined for an 0 for 8 on the day.
Yeah, Chapman, we need you, man.
Yeah,
we need to pick it up here.
Yeah. Then game 2, Bassett comes in. Jays lose 9-7. 4-inning pitch for Bassett. Gave up 9 hits, 7 earned runs, 2 walks, and 5 kills. And they were all over everything. He was just
not doing himself any favors, man. He was walking a bunch of guys. He was getting deep counts early.
He only walked 2, but I think he had around 6 or 7 3-2 counts or 3-ball counts. That's not good.
This game was wild. I was on this game at work, man, and this game was wild. So
Bo Bichette,
the game I watched the most,
buddy. Bo Bichette, solo home run, 2-run triple, RBI single, 3 for 5 day. Almost had the cycle.
I thought he was gonna get the cycle, man.
Yeah, and this is I did too. I was like, just hit the double, please. I needed those fantasy points.
I was scared.
And then Varsho hit a 2-run home run to make it interesting in the 9th. Biggio pinch hit for KK. KK left the game with back tightness.
Varsho also, Kiermaier left this game.
Yeah, Varsho took over in center field. And then this is what pissed me off, Chris. So Varsho goes back against the wall, and it's a deep fly ball, hits his glove, rolls out. He closes it just a half a millisecond too late, and the ball rolls over the fence. That said, I'd like to see the average person try and do what he did. Track the ball full speed, run into a wall full speed, and
that's an incredibly tough play. And in the batter before that, he went back, he jumped, it hit off the
half the people who were talking shit probably have never even played the outfield. Let's be honest. So
we don't pay no mind to that stuff, man.
No. And then the second one was actually over the fence. He reached over, got his glove on it, and the ball just trickled out.
It was a great effort.
It was a home run regardless, if he got there or not.
It's just bad bounces, dude. It's just how the season's going at this point.
And he felt awful about it. He went up to Bassett and he apologized for it, and Bassett was like, dude, there's nothing you can do about it. Like, Bassett was annoyed in the moment. You could see it on his face, but you can't do anything at that. Like, you got to give it the effort. He did. Jays lost 9-7. But I'm getting tired, Chris, of these cock tease comebacks in the 9th. Where it's like, holy shit, they're gonna do it.
And also, dude, this was bad. Brandon Bell.
Oh, I was screaming at the TV.
Like, what are you doing, dude?
Here's the batter's box, Chris. Here's the pitch. And he just
No, not even that, dude. I was gonna say his base running.
The base running?
Thrown out at second, like.
Oh, that was stupid. He pimped a single.
he's leading off.
Yeah.
Like they're down whatever, but they end up losing by 2 runs.
Yeah.
And he could have been at second with nobody out. He could have been on at first with nobody out. Who knows what happens? They could have scored 3 runs that inning. They could have, gotten another guy on, hit a home run. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But instead, he's, lollygagging it out of the box, gets thrown out at second, and he decides to, turn it up. That was not great. He had a rough one in this one. Struck out to end the game. He also struck out again, I think, after that with Duran on the mound. That guy's a freak.
No, it was something Stewart or something, or
at the end of the game. Yeah,
at the end of the game, that's what I was talking about.
Too. Yeah, he faced Duran too, I think, in like the 8th or something.
Yeah,
because man, Pablo Lopez or Jorge Lopez, holy dude.
No, I
don't know.
I saw his stat line: 22 pitches thrown, didn't get a single out.
Dude, I don't know how you could ever send that guy out in the 9th again after seeing that. If you're
I don't understand why Yohan Duran's not their closer. I really don't get it.
He should be.
If there's a 100-mile-an-hour splitter,
Jorge Lopez, most overrated reliever of all time.
He peaked in Baltimore. He peaked in Baltimore last year.
Can't stand that guy. He's terrible. Another thing I was going to say from this game. It's okay. Vlad was sitting in the dugout after 1 for 5 day, looking dejected, just looking around. And I thought it was after a really tough day. Varsho came up. he picked him up. He had some words of encouragement.
Yeah.
That's why we love Varsho, man. We'll defend Varsho on this show.
I'll never not defend Dalton Varsho.
Yeah,
he plays the game right.
He's like a quality teammate, and after a tough game like that, where he, had some rough ones in the outfield, just some bad passes, to go up to Vlad and one of the newest guys on the team, say, come on, man, we'll be okay.
Yeah,
that was interesting. So and
move
then
on to game 3.
Jose Barrios masterclass, really nice start. Doesn't give up any runs against his former team. 5 walks, a little bit, but still was able to limit that damage. Last year, he would have fallen off the cliff.
Yeah, exactly.
At some point in this start.
Darner Mono picked up another save, second of the series. Picked up 2 in the series.
Yeah, Mono's looking pretty good.
He's throwing the fastball, Chris. He must have heard us.
Throwing the fastball, he heard us. Absolutely. Yeah. Springer a couple hits, Bichette a couple hits, Vlad
0 for 4
hits. Kirky, nice to see. 2-run single. Which is, it's good for him. Hopefully that gets him going a bit, even though it wasn't really, a lot of time you hit a ball like that, it's an out, but he got lucky, which is nice. And then Varsho, a little redemption from the day before, a really, really, really nice catch in center to take extra bases away from Carlos Correa. And Eric Swanson in the game, 3 strikeouts, faced 4 hitters. That's nice. Trevor Richards, man's looking really good. The bullpen is actually, if Schneider's got it lined up, if they've got guys available and the starter gives you innings and he's got it lined up, the bullpen is
great,
good right now.
Except for Jimmy. Jimmy's not. Oh, can we also give Tim Mesa his flowers? The guy's got an ERA under 1. The guy is so good. He's so good.
There's like 4, Nate Pearson. There's like 4 or 5 guys in the bullpen right now that are really as well helping the team get through it.
I want to circle back to a certain bullpen guy named Anthony Bass. We only got about just over 2 minutes left.
I don't even really want to give this guy any attention, but
I know, but Chris, we have to, unfortunately, because this guy Anthony Bass is the same guy who was in the media world circulating about popcorn on an airplane. Posted on his Instagram story a anti-LGBTQ plus post saying that to not promote pride flags and everything. And dude, you're in Toronto. Do you understand your audience? You're playing in front of one of the most liberal, like, woke cities in the world. You're not playing in fucking Miami, or Miami even is pretty woke that way, but you're not playing in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. No, exactly. But you're not playing in buttfuck nowhere. You're playing in a major sports town in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, where everyone should be and is, I would like to think, accepted. But he cites his Christian upbringing and the fact that his faith in God. I'm so sick and tired of people using the Bible to justify their beliefs. If you're a bigot, don't hide behind religion. Just admit it. Be a man. If you don't like gay people, just don't use your religion. Okay, I'm tired of that.
I also don't condone his message, but whatsoever. But
it's disgusting.
It's very easy. It's easier to not post something than to post something.
Exactly.
You don't have to send it. With whatever you're feeling. Obviously, we don't agree with it.
Oh shit.
But you just gotta, maybe keep that to yourself, or you don't. There's no reason to be posting that. And the Jays have Pride Week coming up, so it'll be interesting to see.
Exactly.
We
got to wrap it up here, buddy. We're running out of time.
Yeah, I know. We're up against it here. Yeah. But again, from
share and subscribe.
Ryan, I've been Chris May. Thank you guys. Hopefully the Jays turn it around.
Yeah, take it easy, guys.